Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So no-dig gardening is really starting to take off, but there's a tradition where people have always used trench composting to line garden beds and build really nutritious soil. Now, how do you combine no-dig gardening and trench composting? Keep watching, and in this video I'll show you how to do a no-dig bed, but incorporate trench composting into it. Okay, so it's about time that I started tidying up my garden beds, and I'm going to start with this one where I had my old runner beans. And as you can see, the supports that I've used for the runner beans, I've got this permanent frame here, and then for the runner beans to grow up, I've used pretty much anything that I can find. So bean canes, prunings from this is a pruning from a plum tree, and this is what I grow up. Now, what I want to show you today is how what a traditional trick has been for runner bean beds, for people to fill the runner bean beds with all kinds of household kitchen waste and kitchen scraps, and let that compost over the winter, and then plant your runner beans into that, because you create a really nutritious soil. Now, because we do no dig, how do we incorporate the two? And this is what we're going to do. This is what this video is about. You can see these lovely big branches that I've used. Now, if you watch my onion planting video, you'll see how I mentioned that leaving roots in the ground is a brilliant idea. Now, things like this, a perennial like sorrel, this will grow back anywhere. So you want to take the roots of these out. So what I'm doing with these beans is I'm just cutting them down. I'm cutting them down to the ground. Anything like this perennial weed, I'm going to take out. So perennial weeds like that, I'm going to leave the green, and I'm going to get rid of the roots. So those perennial weeds can come out. All these beans. And I'm trying to, what I've done with a lot of these plants is I've cut them off at the base already, so when I pull the stalk, the roots don't come out. And the reason I don't want the roots to come out is because with these runner beans, and all kind of legumes, they're nitrogen fixing plants. And what happens is, on the roots, there's nodules that fix nitrogen to the soil, and the way they're going to fix the nitrogen to the soil is once the plant starts to die, not while the plant's alive. So they collect the nitrogen in the nodules, and then once the plant starts to die, that's when they release the nitrogen. So now, what we're doing is, look, I've got this nettle plant here as well. But I'm going to pull this. Oof, and I've got myself stung. But I'm only going to get rid of the root. I'm going to leave the actual leaves here as part of. So I'll get rid of that, but I'll leave the nettles. But I've got a stung as well there. See, that's my battle wound for today. I'm still finding old beans. The seeds in here, they'll still be good. So even though the shell looks a bit manky, you can get away with eating the beans from that. I'm not going to let that go to waste. The reason I'm cutting it off first at the root is because I don't want the bean roots to come out when I pull the sticks. Because this wraps around the stick so tight, I don't want the roots to come out, because I want the roots in the ground. Because as they rot in the ground, they'll release all that lovely nitrogen that they've gathered up all year. So all these bits, all these big bits that are up here, give them a little snip, put them down, let it all come down. I'll show you what I mean. So if I pull up one of the plants, they're the nitrogen nodules there. If you look there, you see those little balls. If you can see that carefully, those little balls there. So yeah, they're the nitrogen nodules, and they'll slowly break down and release the nitrogen. So that's what I want to try and preserve in the ground. That's why legumes are absolutely brilliant. Legumes, you know, things like clover, if you're going to use a cover crop, clover's absolutely fantastic. So normally with a trench compost, what they would have done with all this organic matter that they're picking off, is this would have all gone buried into the ground. Now we're not going to bury this. See, look at all this bulbous root. If you leave that in the ground, that's going to rot underneath the soil. We're starting to rain, but the rain's not going to stop us. This is what true gardeners do. So get all this down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this. I've got loads of kitchen scraps that I'm going to add next. So what I've got here is I've got some radish leaves, avocado bits, peels or whatever that's called, all kinds of kitchen scraps, some fish and chip wrapper, I'll save that for in a bit, and this can all go on. So this traditionally would be all underground and buried deep, and then you'd cover it up after you've let it compost down over the winter. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sheet mulch. So what I've got here is I've got loads of cardboard pizza boxes, old pizza boxes, cardboard, all kinds of cardboard boxes. These are all going on. Take that side of the bed down for a second. So, paper, bits of paper, more pizza boxes, cereal boxes, they can go on. So plastic paper bags, sorry, they can all go over the top. Lovely. More cardboard boxes, get this all covered up. Lovely. So now that we've got it all covered up, that leaves out, that's okay. Now I'm going to top this off. So now that the wood chips are on, that can all go cover it up. Got an eggshell in here, that's fine, cover that up. Get all these wood chips down. Now I'm going to leave that and let that break down for the rest of winter. If I did this a couple of weeks ago, I would have put some compost down on the top of this and planted some cover crops into it, but because I'm so late on, I'm just going to leave it as it is with this heavy layer of mulch on, and I'm just going to let this compost down and prepare for next year. But when I come to planting into this next year, this soil's going to be absolutely lovely. So that's how you do trench composting without a trench in a no-dig garden. So I'll leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.